Hey, how's it going everyone, and welcome back to another video. And in this video what I want to go over is, well, it's going to be a video going on to like leaks. Now this is going to be like a Reddit leaks video, so I don't know how accurate this is going to be. So there might be spoilers, but kind of like take it with like a grain of salt, because all of this might be true, all of this might not be true. Like, you don't actually know. And now before we get into it as well, it's going to be like 20 minutes of exclusive footage that was shown somewhere in Korea. Now I don't really know how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to try. But with all of that being said, let's actually go and get into the breakdown for the footage. The movie opens up to a harsh kind of like continuous like emergency broadcast, which is going to be going over the Marvel Studios logo. Now it's going to be the same one from Ant-Man and the Wasp, like the post-credit scene. Now it is going to be saying this is not a test, there is like a state emergency in effect, please stand by for further instructions. It then cuts to Barton like on his farm, and then Clint is going away on a family picnic teaching his daughter how to use like archery or whatever. He jokes that the 30th time is going to be the charm, to stay steady and to not even think about it. She nails the center of the target. He and his daughter have like a funny back and forth about who's like the better archer. Now I do believe this is going to be Kate Bishop, but I'm not really too sure. And now it kind of goes on to say that Clint is going to be kind of just looking around. He looks back, and then essentially he looks back and his daughter is going to be gone. Then Clint goes into his living room where the TV is blaring the emergency broadcast saying this is not a test. Back on Earth, Wakandans like mourn their, lost for their loved ones. We get a pretty emotional sequence like there. The remaining Avengers gather themselves in the lab that was used to protect Vision in Infinity War. Shuri has been dusted, which we saw in, I believe, maybe a TV spot, and it was like, posters. Okoye, I think I'm saying her name right, vows to do whatever she can to help them. Their wounds are attended to. Banner sits in a stunned silence, as does Rhodey. Rocket holds back tears. Thor groans, that he basically had Thanos and he was nearly able to kill him. Captain America responds that it is no one's fault and they should just get back home, and regroup and trying to find whoever is left. Natasha kind of ponders around looking, essentially where like Barton is going to be or where Clint is going to be. Bruce is given all of the information Shuri collected on Vision and the Mind Stone before they head out. It then cuts to Tony and Pepper in a massive church standing in front of each other on the altar, so they're going to be getting married. It is also said that is going to be like a dream like kind of state or whatever, so it's going to be where he's going to be seeing past Avengers who are dusted just be at his wedding, which is just going to be all a dream. It's not really going to make sense in real life. Now this all kind of seems to be like a nightmare, so Tony wakes up screaming and the Benatar kind of shaken, so he's going to be kind of very nervous or very scared about what just happened. And Nebula asks if he's going to be okay. He brushes it off and said that he just dreamt that they didn't make it back, which is going to be obviously very terrible. Nebula mentions that the heaters are just not going to be working anymore, that they just stopped working essentially. Much of the ship was heavily damaged in the Battle of Titan. It also is mentioned that the ship can no longer jump travel, so this means that they're essentially going to be kind of stranded in space. Something about the missing parts and some coils being burnt to crisp. Tony and Nebula managed to get the heaters back up, but they failed to restore jump travel, so they can't go back to Earth really quickly. They're going to be still stranded. They are quickly running out of food, water, and oxygen as mentioned in the trailers. The montage ends as we cut to New York, just kind of desolated, really kind of it's just going to be really destroyed is kind of like the best way to put it. Now it cuts to Bruce Banner trying to bypass like the battery for the, I guess pager is kind of like the best way to put it, for it was like shown in the Captain Marvel post-credit scene. Sorry, that might have been a bit of a spoiler for Captain Marvel if you haven't seen it, but it's going to be a spoiler video for Endgame, which is going to be kind of leading in Captain Marvel as well, so I guess I'm sorry if it did spoil you, but either way, going back onto it, the rest of the scene is shown to be kind of like the same from the trailers, and that's line about Thanos doing exactly what he wanted, has come true basically. It is mentioned that the Avengers are assuming that Tony is dead, and that, essentially just not to go and kind of go looking for him, so this is going to be kind of them in a sense just going to be stuck there not helping out Tony, so he's going to have to get back to Earth on his own with Nebula. It then cuts back to Tony, who is sitting in the Benatar, just sitting alone in silence, and he is exhausted, and he goes in and records that message for Pepper that we've seen in the trailer. Now I do believe that was the first official trailer, so it's obviously going to be a very sad scene, because Tony's going to be out of hope. He's not going to, he basically just kind of thinks to himself this is where he's going to be dying. Essentially the rest of the footage, or the rest of the breakdown, or the leak or whatever, the description, it's going to be Tony kind of looking around getting clothes. Nebula's going to be there kind of trying to comfort him in a sense, just going to be saying this is where they're going to be dying. How he mentions it's weird to borrow clothes from Quill even though they didn't really know each other really well. Now overall, for all this kind of leaked footage or whatever, it's obviously very interesting. It's very It's very iffy because I don't really know if I should believe this or not to believe it because, you know, as I said, it's going to be very iffy. Some things I kind of do believe, some things I don't really believe. Now, there is no mention of him like making it back to Earth or going on and, you know, making the Mark 85, which we've seen in trailers. So obviously this is going to be, as I said, first 15-20 minutes. 20 minutes of footage was shown, so it's going to be very weird how they would show in trailers, you know, past 20 minutes, even though they said they wouldn't. You know, that's just kind of my own thing going on there. Now that has been pretty much everything I kind of wanted to go over in the video, so I might have a video post either later on or, you know, before this video. I'm not really too sure how it's going to be working out. It's going to be going on to a video, you know, going on to like Robert Downey Jr. mentioning Endgame for the last like 8 minutes. Now if you want to get that video or you want to see like new videos, you know, every day or multiple videos per day, you know, you can subscribe, leave a like and comment down below for the latest and greatest, you know, Marvel news and updates. And you know, hope you have a great day as well, and goodbye.